Hello and welcome everyone out there. This is the SIG Contribex marketing team weekly meeting. And a reminder here at the start about our code of conduct. Everyone, please be excellent to each other. And let's hop into business, I suppose. First up, do we have any updates or big wins on the team this week?
I think everyone is sort of in silent running for KubeCon next week.
I know, right? Yeah. So let's move into discussion, I guess. I have a few items there at the bottom. We'll start off though with editorials in process. I'll share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Lovely.
It was like loading for a second.
Yeah. I don't have the greatest of internet, so this might be interesting, but so I don't think we have Lubina on today. Is Lubina out there? I don't think so. So she is working on an article for the SIG usability for our SIG profile kind of series. So I missed last week, so even I don't have the latest update on that if she added anything. I know that she was able to get in contact with the chairs of usability, so I assume that that's progressing. She had a little trouble at first, and speaking of which, I still want to create a sort of getting started guide for storytellers. I started working on that PR yesterday. I've been talking to Matt about it a little bit, and I think I want to work with him to kind of figure out what needs to be in that. So that's related. I'll try to include kind of suggestions for if you're not getting responses from the SIG that you're trying to contact and that kind of thing in that. I don't know anything about this article on annual reporting, which is Divya on? Nope. So we'll skip that. SIG profiles, like I said, we've got usability, and then there are a bunch down here that are in progress. Cluster life, node, and network. And from the GitHub name, I'm not 100% sure what the person's name is.
Samudrala.
Samud? Is that what it is?
Oh,
Samudrala?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. But he's not on, I take it. Anyone else know status on this?
I'm looking, hang on, sorry. Multi-triple tasking.
All good. Just the cluster life, node, and network SIG profiles. I was wondering if anyone has any status on those.
No.
That's okay. So we've got a bunch of articles sort of in flight somewhere out there, but everyone's busy with KubeCon and stuff, so we'll get updates on those another time. So moving on to our next thing, bots in progress. Rajula.
I don't think we have any update, so we still yet to merge the Slack bot. The PR review is still pending.
Okay, so no updates. Oh my gosh. My setup is weird today since I'm using a different computer from usual. No updates. Slack bot PR in progress, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And then
On the Slackbot PR, have you gotten any reviews or anything like that yet?
No, not yet. Nothing.
Okay. I will ping Jeff directly.
Sounds like a good idea.
You know, throw an egg at his house.
He needs my
Hey, you
help.
King Jeff.
He needs my help with fixing up an engine later. So it'll be like, review that PR first.
Here's my laptop. It approves.
Cool. I guess I could have asked at the beginning if someone wanted to be a note taker. I'm just gonna kind of take notes as we go unless someone wants it.
I can help with that.
You want to do notes? Cool. Thank you.
Bye.
So other discussion items, working group naming.
Right. Hi, this is Karthik. So last 11th August, the working group naming was inaugurated officially with the first kickoff meeting. And they are also like kind of in a confused state, like how to publicize this working group naming is there and how to reach out and like where to tweet, where to advertise and stuff like that. So I proposed to them, like we have a K8 contributor profile, and we could tweet on that. Like we usually do that via to say like to do shout outs, to do the good first issues. So they said like that would be awesome. So I said like I'll bring up this in our meeting and I'll get back to you guys. So this is something I just wanted to bring this up. And the thing we want to know is like how should someone reach out to us, like if they want to tweet something, if they want to familiarize any internal SIGs or WGs or anything like that.
Cool. That brings up another question that I had for you, Rajula. I know that last week there was an item talking about tweet scheduling. I know the last I had heard on it, we had some issues with scheduling because Twitter Together won't allow tweet scheduling from a fork. Is that still the case? Do we have some other solution for that?
Yeah, so I've tried to reach out to the working group infra, see if the ProwCA bot has a feature. So I'm just looking at other options for now. If not, we just have to figure out something.
I know Chris investigated some other options as well early on when we were thinking about what types of automation we could use. So I was going to look over that and see if there are any notes that might be useful there.
Yeah, I don't know if there was any other projects like this though that use GitHub Actions, but you know what? That research is kind of old and there probably is by now. So
yeah, that's fair. Might be worth looking into again.
yeah.
A quick question: is this to like when the tweet posts? Does it just post immediately as soon as it's merged, or is there like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
there's no
all we
way
can
to-
do right now.
There's no way to actually say like delay this till XYZ time.
Okay. One thing that might be at least useful in the interim would be to, because you can toss an LGTM approve on it and then toss a hold on it. And then just someone has to, at least for now, remember to release the hold when you want the tweet to go out.
Oh, good point.
Okay.
We could
So-
totally do that.
Yeah, we could do that workaround.
That's what we do with the blog posts. So that way, like, you know,
Oh.
Nice.
everything's been signed off and then actually have to go,
The last person just hits unhold.
yep, unhold essentially like around the time that you want the tweet to go out.
Cool.
Okay. We can definitely do that, I feel like.
What?
So
We just need to
Is-
write up
So
that
what should I-
process.
Yeah. I'm wondering
Yeah.
what is the status of the README PR that you had at Rajula?
So it should be merged, right?
Is it merged?
that was my
It's merged.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So we could do another PR to just add that new information
Yep.
saying, like, let us know in the issue when you want it to go out and we'll make that work. Something that conveys that.
should we? Sorry,
I can do that.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just wanted to ask the question before I forget.
Yeah, sure.
So should we create an issue template? Should we create an issue template saying like, okay, this is what, like saying what is the content of the tweet and who are all the tagging persons that you wanted to do something like that? Or just like paste your tweet content here, and if there is any schedule to tweet, just add the time. And then once it is submit, then like we can do a PR with .tweet files, or like we want to ask them to put a pull request with .tweet file, and then we will merge accordingly whenever you wanted to have it tweeted. Like how should we do this?
I like the idea of them, because what does the .tweet file look like? It is literally just the text of the tweet, right?
Correct.
Yeah, like I would like them to just submit the tweet files, to be honest with you, because that makes it super easy for us. We just approve it and move on.
The one thing I feel from putting myself as the like user, or like I would say like user, is like there is a potential like back and forth conversation of saying this has been forked by 100 people now, and we already approved like one tweet. Now the 100 people need to rebase their branches again. So when we do the second approval, they need to rebase their fork and they need to send the PR. Like this is something that would be in the Git operations, right? Like that's from their perspective. It would be like, ooh, yeah.
So how would we manage that?
I don't have an answer for that question.
So the rebase workflow like is pretty common. It's pretty much what we use for the project. The big thing would be like I would still probably have people do it in issue form for now.
Okay.
One thing I don't know is if you can create a file through the GitHub UI.
You can. You can create a file in a repo area. Yeah.
Because I know like you can.
But it'll ask you to like fork it. I think when you say like add file or something.
Yeah. And that's going to be pretty much the case no matter what.
Right.
The other thing, and this is more of a long-term idea, is GitHub code spaces, where they could basically you build the profile for how you want it to be in like VS Code. You upload those files to the repo, and then people get a button that says like open up in code space, and they get a web IDE with everything needed to do it.
I didn't even know that was a feature.
It's in beta right now. It's only certain.
Got it.
Yeah, it's supposed to go GA I think in October.
That's interesting. Do we want to force people to use a beta thing? I mean,
no, you couldn't do it right now. That's what I was like saying. This would be like a potential
a
future thing.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would mean there's no client involved or anything like that. They click a button and they could do it.
It's all right there. Yeah. That's cool.
I can investigate an option like using GitHub Actions. If a user actually submits an issue, then we could actually read that issue and create a PR out of that issue by reading that tweet file and create a PR file into that.
Yeah, like if you could put it. Yeah, if you could put the actual tweet contents between these two lines, kind of thing, or whatever.
Correct.
And just grep that out.
We could just parse that data and create a tweet file and put it there.
So we do that currently really cool. For release notes. Like in KK, there's a little section that says like release notes, and any of the text that goes in there is what gets added to that. So that would reading that's something that is a pattern that's been used before.
That's cool. We can replicate that.
And we would have to change the issue template for our group, right? Or for community?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd probably just point, like, if you're interested in a tweet, create an issue over here.
Okay. So for this first one, how do we want to handle this? Do we want to let them know, hey, like give them just the instructions, say, hey, create an issue, put this content in it, and we'll make it happen, and then we'll update the issue and see how that goes?
I think we just need to kind of like let it roll for now manually and build this out.
Yeah, parallel.
When it's ready. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll respond to them is like I'll probably send a draft template of what the content should be and say create an issue and fill in the prompted area and take care of the tweeting. I'll update you with the process automation of this.
I think that sounds like it makes sense. And then we'll have a good use case to refer back to as we update all of our process items, our issue template and the README and all of that.
Right.
Cool. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Excited to start using that. I was also wondering about the scheduling thing because today I'm going to go through the KubeCon schedule and some other stuff and start queuing up a bunch of tweets, kind of draft up a bunch of tweets for the future. So, but right now we can't schedule them, but if we have this hold thing, maybe I can do them through the PR system. So I wasn't planning to try and do that, but maybe that could work.
Man, then you could just next week just unhold, and let it rip.
Yeah, that would be a big test, big test of this system.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe do that every Friday. Make that a thing. Queue up the tweets for the week. Sounds good.
Yeah, and if you need help with that, you can just ping me, right?
Yes.
Like Fridays, I'm typically like around and available-ish.
Yeah. Last week I was thinking about all of this, but didn't get any of them like started drafting up because I had a bunch of stuff going on. But today,
Feel you.
Today will be the day.
Okay.
Cool. So that's awesome for the tweet stuff. We have so many notes on that one, which is awesome. I'm gonna get rid of the tweet scheduling ask that I had below that. And so the next item that I put in here, no wait, there's another one. PR open for update to marketing team README. Yeah, that's me. So I opened up a new PR for the marketing team README to change myself to lead for Twitter and move Chris to an advisor and Paris to advisor. And then I also fixed a bunch of grammar things and a broken link. So that's that PR. I don't think it's been looked at yet the last time I checked, but just so you all are aware.
Thank you.
Cool. Next one.
Do you know who's actually on to review that? Let me open that because I can also just
I think I poked at it.
I think Chris and maybe.
Because I got
no, I think
a
it's
new
Jonas.
Tool. Oh yeah, Jonas.
I think it's Chris and Jonas.
Or something. Yeah. I got a new tool this week to help me with GitHub notifications. I'm super excited.
Ooh, would love it if you would share that. I really need that.
Yeah, it is called Githify.
Githify. If you want to add a link in the
I'll link,
notes,
yeah, I'll drop one.
I think that would be great. That is something I've been meaning to look into for a while.
It's multi-platform. Oh, look at that. Nice. Cool. Okay, I'll drop this in right now.
Cool. Shall we move on to the next thing? Think so. PR to remove Twitter together merge action. How's that going, Rajula? Has anyone looked at it?
Yeah, I've opened the PR, so maybe you can look at it. So I've removed it because it was it's failing the commits. So I thought let's get rid of it for now.
It would have prevented us from getting things in, or is it just a failure and we can still get things in?
Yeah, it's just a failure. It doesn't look good. So yeah.
Yeah. And it will always fail because of our process, because we can't merge things from a fork that have the scheduling, and so it just always looks like a failure. So that's good. That one needs to be looked at as well. So note for both of those PRs is just that they need review, and then the README is merged. We talked about that earlier, the contributor tweets repo.
Yeah.
README. Awesome. And I put a note on here that KubeCon EU's next week. Does anyone have sessions that they want to plug here or anything?
Pretty much any of the maintainer track ones.
Yeah. I got invited to so many Slack channels in the CNCF Slack like yesterday.
Oh, geez. I haven't looked at that yet, but I guess that's going to be everyone.
Yep. And
Yeah.
if you are paying it, like if anyone saw the messages in Contribex, they might be implementing our moderation tooling that we use in Kubernetes to help with some of that. So
Interesting.
I think the KubeCon attendance is around 20,000 people have signed up.
22,000 is what I heard.
Yeah. So there'll be a large influx in people that need to be managed.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting because we've got that piece. You've got the actual like showpiece, and then you have, you know, whatever your company's doing or whatever you're doing, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm excited to see if we get a different crowd than we normally would at an in-person KubeCon. I'm hoping that we will.
I would like to see a lot of more newcomers, right? Like that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I'm
From
really hoping. It would be really cool.
At least other virtual events, the international audience has been dramatically higher.
Okay. That's what I feel like I've seen that in other virtual events, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the stats to back it up. So more
We had
anecdotal evidence.
82,000 unique individuals come to Red Hat Summit over the course of the week. It was pretty wild.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. It was free, right? Like we just made it free for everybody. So it was a lot of people came through.
I think that KubeCon still has free registration for keynotes and for the virtual booths, virtual showcase.
Today or something like that, does it? I don't know. Or maybe they extended it.
Oh yeah, it might end today. I don't know, but
Yeah.
note for anyone out there who hasn't done it, you have the opportunity to get free keynotes.
If you're on the call and you want a full pass, just ping me. If you can't afford it, no shame, no harm, no nothing. I will get you a pass. Don't worry.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So that's KubeCon EU. I also have a talk going on there, but it's not going to be very exciting for anyone here. It's a very beginner level talk. So
Stop it. When is it?
It's for me Pacific time. It's Monday morning at 7:55 a.m.
I'll be there. Your bell's on.
If you want to. I did 3 takes, and the third take was my favorite, but it was a little too long, and my video cut out for a bunch of it. So it's my second take. No. So I'm like, I'm gonna like post in the Q&A at certain points and be like, I could have worded this better, or maybe I shouldn't do that.
No, like don't worry about stuff like that. Like people will appreciate it. Yeah. Seriously. Like don't critique yourself in the chat.
That's probably a good idea. It's pretty good, so it'll do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing with virtual conferences and pre-recording those. You get to critique yourself all you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that's KubeCon EU. Feel free to let us know if anyone else has anything cool to share there. And then GitHub notification tool is the thing that you were talking about, right, Chris?
Yes.
Cool. So that's the link for anyone who's interested in that. I know I am.
And you can, the coolest feature I feel like is the fact that you can turn it on to like, it's a setting to show only the ones you're participating in or for the entire project that you're following. And that I think is like the killer feature for me.
Cool.
Because like I can get up to speed on everything as well as get my work done.
Nice. I'm definitely going to check that out later. So contributor site launch is the next thing.
Okay. Assuming nothing major happens, we are actually good to go to launch next week.
Right in time for KubeCon?
Exactly. Trying to get it there. So
madness.
If folks are new contributors or whatever, that should be the thing that we're referring people to go to as the starting point. Awesome. You'll be able to give them the shortcut k8s.dev. The other big thing that needs to get done is the launch blog post.
Okay.
I have started a draft, but it's pretty much just a couple bullet points right now. If anyone's interested.
Yeah, you want to share it with me? I can help you out.
Yeah. So just essentially, when we go live, it's sort of description of the site, some of the content that's gonna be loading up on it, and some of the like we're gonna have the developer guide, a bunch of other stuff there in the future.
Cool. I'm excited to tweet that.
Mhm.
It's only
excited
taken
to
2
review it.
years.
I know, right? Like, I remember the initial discussion of all this.
Yeah, that was bike shedding the project.
Mhm.
Cool. I actually checked that this week, the case.dev. It's like, I wonder if this is up yet. Not quite, but next
Soon.
week. That's exciting.
The PR is open. It just has to be approved and merged to link up the domain to the Netlify site, and then that'll be done.
Nice. Excited about that. Cool. So I'll probably post that on the Twitter next week. And
Please
I'm
do.
also happy to help review blog and contribute to it if you all need help. Cool. So on to recurring items. Calendar walkthrough.
So we don't have any specific, but I wanted to discuss about the Ask Paris wanted. Should we do an email announcement now at this point? What do you think?
I can't remember what she asked. Could you remind me?
Yeah, she was asking if we can do an email announcement for the maintenance sessions for the KubeCon next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel like that would be a good idea. I know I'm working with Paris on that for Twitter. I'm going to come up with a bunch of tweets on the maintainer track sessions, maybe tweet out a little bit before each one or a few of them. I can pick a few. Bob, you might have input on what might be useful to share there as well. Not really.
You're on mute.
Honestly,
No.
like I've kind of been very out of it outside of like just the
It's understandable.
outside of the general maintainer track stuff.
Mhm.
There is the peer mentoring session that I don't remember
Right.
what day, but it's somewhere in my calendar.
I think it's on the 18th.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'll draft an email by tonight.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
What are you
and
thinking
there's
of doing for it? Just like a general check out the KubeCon maintainer track?
Yeah, and maybe I'm going to include saying the Twitter link to look out for tweets, and also there's a mentoring session and other stuff.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Nice.
Cool. I think those are good points. And new contributor workshop session volunteers.
So the email is already sent, but I'll just ping the mentoring subreddit sometime in the beginning of next week and ask if I can remind again if it's needed or not. So I'll just do it depending on that.
Cool.
Yeah, that might be worth pinging after KubeCon if something is going to go out
Okay.
again, just because people will be focused on KubeCon.
Yeah. Keep in mind, a lot of vendors will send out email after KubeCon as well. So we don't want to get buried in the wash of
point.
email from them vendors. Like, give it a couple days after.
Makes sense. What is the timing, can I ask if someone knows, on the new contributor workshop stuff? I'm volunteering to help out with it, but I was looking for actual dates and stuff on it, and I'm not entirely sure.
I know they're having meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no current like
Okay.
time frame. There's a goal to try and get it essentially before KubeCon North America.
Okay.
But there isn't any specific due date at least at this time.
So I'm not
Is this
crazy.
something? Okay. Is this something where I could come out and like help with like voiceover training type stuff, or
It's
just like
it's people. So there's two different roles for each like topic. It's someone to sort of present and go over stuff, So if you want to, help build a slide deck for just a specific section and sort of present and record that section. And then the sort of other one is to sort of not necessarily transcribe it, but make the TLDR notes version of it. So if someone didn't want to necessarily watch it and just want to sort of like read a little bit about the content, and then link back to where it, the related material in the contributor guide. And all this stuff will be surfaced on the contributor site. So like you'll be able to have the new contributor workshop will just be an item in there.
I'm excited for it. I think it'll be some really good content. Cool. Next thing, tweet draft PRs. I don't think there are any right now. I've just been tweeting directly since we have that issue with the scheduling. But now that we have an idea for a workaround, I will try to start doing it that way. I think the 2 pull requests over here are just going to be, just removing the merge schedule. And I don't know what this one is exactly.
Yeah, we can close the other one.
Okay.
Because it's a bot, it can't make a PR.
Okay. Cool. So I'll look into that later. But no tweet drafts right now. But hopefully we'll get some soon now that we have this new workaround idea. And issue walk, main project. So that's over here, I think. No, this is the articles. The Zoom thing is in the way, of course. There we go.
You're going?
So there's not a lot going on over here. We've got the SIG profiles blog thing that we already talked about. We've got a couple of those in flight. Revised marketing request template. I don't know if there's any new updates on that. And the Slack bot, I think that is. So we've already discussed the status on that, right? Any updates on any of these? Don't think so. There's several to-dos here, but we've got KubeCon coming up. I don't know that it's useful for us to go through those and try to add new stuff to our plates when we've got KubeCon coming up next week. So I'm gonna skip that and just leave the in-progress stuff as it is. Cool. And then I don't think we need to review anything with the repos. I don't know why that's part of the, is that part of that? Yeah, it's just part of the like template and I don't know what to do with that. So that's pretty much it for me right now. Is there anything that we've missed? Anything people want to go over? Sounds like no. You all get some time back. Exciting. 23 minutes back in your day. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you, folks. Yep. Bye.
Thank you.
See ya. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Later all.